Hi, welcome to the Supply Chain Management with GDP podcast, where we discuss industry best practices, current affairs, effective leadership, and the latest innovations in the world of supply chain. Aimed at explaining the concepts of supply chain in the leanest way possible, comes one of the most efficient and quickest shows where you will listen to interviews with various subject matter experts in the supply chain domain. So let's just get right into it. Hi, y'all. Welcome to another episode of Supply Chain Management with GDP. Today we have with us Yash Shah. Yash did his master's along with myself at Northeastern University, and he comes with no experience into Northeastern University but continues to crack into great companies, whether it regards to co-op or full-time job. He did his co-op at Wayfair and he's doing his full-time job currently at Amazon. So without further ado, let's go and get Yash introduced to himself.
Thank you, Gagan, for the lovely introduction. And first of all, thanks for having me on this podcast. So my name is Yash Shah. In terms of my educational background, I hold bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering and recently graduated with master's in engineering management with focus in supply chain from Northeastern University. In course of my professional journey, I worked with Wayfair as in supply chain analyst intern during spring 2020, and currently I am working as business analyst at Amazon.
Congratulations to Yash. So let's get started with a very rudimentary question that a lot of supply chain aspirants who are coming to do their masters would have. Why did you choose to do your masters at Northeastern University, and why specifically engineering management?
Sure, that's a great question, actually, Kevin. The main reason for me personally to choose Northeastern was its co-op program, right? Being someone with like little to no experience, it was like very vital for me to like have that opportunity to explore my interests and gain some professional experience prior to my full-time job. And I must say the program definitely helped me as I landed the full-time.
So why specifically engineering management?
I would say I chose specifically engineering management because it was a course which provided me opportunity to explore my interests. It did not make me like choose one particular course or anything of that such. So that was like my idea behind like choosing EM, since it provided me opportunities in the data side as well as supply chain side as well as manufacturing side. So I wanted to keep my options open, explore my interests, and then move forward.
I guess the ability to be flexible was key in making
Yep,
your decision for that. Makes
that's
sense. I think a lot of students who come for engineering managements are a bit unsure about where they want to go or want to pick up a wide range of courses. And I think that's the reason they come in for that.
Yep, that's correct, Gagan.
So you said you did your co-op at Wayfair. What did you exactly do during your co-op?
Sure. So my job primarily included performing strategic inventory planning and forward positioning of Wayfair's inventory to optimize major key performance indicators like speed, fill rate, penetration rate, in-stock rate, and inventory health for my lighting category. So basically, I was in the inventory management team of the Wayfair, and my primary responsibilities were in and around of inventory management.
Got it. So it seems like a really exciting co-op and at such a good company. Coming in with almost no experience into United States, how difficult was it for you to land a co-op?
Again, it's a really good question. I would say it was definitely difficult, but I feel for me, the co-op program from Northeastern and just the surrounding as well around me, like helped me and pushed me towards it. I strongly feel but having 1 or 2 years of experience prior coming to like US for masters or just prior to like pursuing your masters anywhere in the world would like provide you with greater advantage of like exploring your interests, and more importantly, the gaining that clarity, that you want to pursue ahead in your career. So I think that's very important.
What steps did you exactly take to ensure that your resume was picked during your co-op search?
So like one thing, like you mentioned, I did not have much experience, and usually companies, even for co-op, they require experience. So one thing I made sure I had like few projects aligned with like whatever the requirement the company was needing, and according to it, I aligned my resume and made sure I would highlight those points in my interview aspect as well.
So did you change your resume based off keywords for every company, or did you have a set format and changed a few things here and there?
Frankly speaking, I did change my resume depending upon the company and the requirements. But I also had like a kind of like generalized resume for like multiple companies. But when I wanted to target one particular company whose role really aligned with my interest, I would definitely make sure I would like change the resume accordingly and match all the keywords and even all the job requirements.
The fact that you went through the hard work, the results are showing. You came into the United States, you successfully got yourself a co-op, and you successfully completed that co-op as well after 6 months. So, going into thinking back on that experience, what would you say to the other aspirants out there? How would you make an impact at a co-op, and how did you make an impact at that co-op?
Sure. So personally, I feel the best way to like make an impact is by bringing some fresh ideas and thoughts to the table, right? Teams are always looking to like improve and optimize like the existing process. To put it in a simple words, it's about looking at the process or task from like various angles and figuring out the best one. And I think to like achieve this by starting to be a good listener. One thing which I really followed was being a really good listener during my co-op. It seems like pretty common
A
thing.
very rudimentary thing.
Yeah, but I must say like it's really really important. It has like really helped me like understand the whole business aspect before like performing your duties. That way also like you can like really think through and bring some fresh ideas to the team.
That's perfect. So now let's get into some nitty gritty while you are working at Wayfair.
Okay.
I remember the time when you were doing your co-op, there was a turbulent time for the company in terms of they let go of a huge number of employees, but you continued being a co-op there and continued being successful. How did you do that in such a high pressure situation?
I still remember that day actually, and it was like again a very difficult time, a turbulent time for everyone at Wayfair. Everyone has their like own way of dealing with such situations. It definitely took me a couple of days to like get back to my regular routine, but I took some like really important takeaways from that situation as well. I would say the first one was the importance of networking, right? Building a good network is like very important, and it definitely helps especially during such unprecedented times. And second one was every employee is replaceable. And apart from that, how I continued to make an impact as an co-op was it really helped me with the work from home situation. I did not know it was a boon or not, but it really helped me since it was like work from home situation. The surrounding around me was pretty calm, and I was like in a comfortable space. After that helped me contribute towards or like make an impact towards the community.
After doing your co-op at Wayfair, how did you ensure that just an internship on your resume, how did you ensure that you took the right steps to get a full-time job?
So one thing while I was like working at Wayfair, I made sure, like whatever interested me, like or whatever projects that interest me, I made sure I put in my 100% to it. I made sure like all the projects which I was like working on, I really understood like all the parts and not just the parts assigned to me, right? It's all about just connecting the dots. During even for the full time, I made sure I was like hunting for the roles which I was like really interested in, and that way it's like easier to express your interest as well as your projects to the interviewers during the interview. And I think that's what like really stood out. It would seem like pretty common thing to like say, but that's what really helped me actually.
It's a common thing, but it doesn't harm anyone to iterate it again and again, because that's what it works, right?
Yeah, that's
Yep.
correct again.
All right. I think we're running towards the end of the podcast. I thank you so much, Yash, for coming in here and sharing your experiences about Northeastern University, your co-op, and Wayfair. I wish you all the best at Amazon.
Yeah, thank you, Gagan, and all the best to you too.
Thank you. And I look forward to having more discussions about your full-time job at Amazon soon. For everyone listening in, thank you so much for tuning in today for another episode of Supply Chain Management with GDP. We'll be back with the next episode next week with a new guest. Thank you and good night.